Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Dillalta Prabhu.
I started.
Manjula Devi Mataji, can you just go on mute? Okay, I'll just start.
Is. And even for what purpose?
Is it audible, Prabhu? Clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mother.
Purpose meditation upon what? Just meditation. Like anesthetizing the infection by putting on antiseptic. Because it hurts. Material life in Kali Yuga hurts, so put on some antiseptic. Just try to be neutral. Be peaceful until you stop your meditation and have to go back into the infection, contamination area. You don't stay disinfected, you become again infected. Unless the purpose behind it is understood. The purpose behind fixing the mind upon the Supreme Lord. What is that purpose? It's approaching the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. It's coming to the mood of humble, loving service in whatever it is that you do. This is the Bhagavatam's message. It's our medicine. It's our healthy state of consciousness. It's our happy state of consciousness. But the meditation upon Supersoul is described. And it even goes all the way to the different chakras and what those energy centers are, and fixing the life air in the abdomen, then in the chest, then in the heart, then in the throat, then in the palate, then between the eyebrows, and then to the Brahmarandra. And then mechanically, literally the word is used, force, the yogi can puncture with the life air, direct the soul to achieve the spiritual destination, and only if there is detachment will that be successful. Because if there's attachment, then it's a sightseeing program. Meaning the soul can journey from the body, but if there is desire for anything within this created realm, even just to check it out, I wonder what that's like. The curiosity. Like sightseeing. A devotee is devoid of that. The verse that we're going to be discussing, I didn't even get there yet, but the verse will explain that a devotee is free from that interest. I would like to experience this sense gratification. I would like to experience what it is like in that place. I'd like to experience what it's like in that place. I wonder what it would be like to have this opulence. I wonder what it would be like to have this mystic city. And as soon as you open the door for material desire, it's not that one material desire comes and stands in the middle of the floor. There's a whole assembly, a whole host of things. And behind them, a battalion of desires. So this is why the Vedas are not just for information, but for transformation of consciousness. I'm going to read the translation for text 22. O King, if a yogi maintains a desire for improved material enjoyments, I'll go back one more. Text 21. Therefore, the bhakti yogi should push the life air up between the eyebrows, and then, blocking the 7 outlets of life air, he should maintain his aim for going back home, back to Godhead. If he is completely free from all desires for material enjoyment, if he should then reach the cerebral hole and give up his material connections, having gone to the Supreme. So this is the mechanical method. And devotees are interested in the ultimate attainment, and some persons that don't have that ultimate attainment purpose. The next verse. However, O King, if a yogi maintains a desire for improvement in material enjoyments, like transference to the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, or achievement of the 8-fold perfections, or travel in outer space with the Vihayasas, or situation in one of the millions of planets, then he has to take away with him the materially molded mind and senses. In the 3rd canto, where Lord Kapila Dev explains the process of devotional service to Devahuti, he says, it is only by the process of bhakti yoga that the material mind is dissolved. No more material mind. That's nice. No more material mind. Whew, what a relief. Conversely, as long as one maintains a desire, there has to be a reposing place for that desire. What is that reposing place? Mind. The mind carries different conceptions of life, just like the air carries aromas. Desire and hate, because where you have one, you have the other. Now, we want desire without hate. That's called peace, right? I want to fulfill all my desires. But as soon as you enter into that territory, you've entered into the territory of duality. There's going to be hate. There's going to be strife, because something's going to interfere with what I desire. It's a trap. I hope you see it. So the position of desirelessness is the spiritualization of desire, because you can't just put desire to sleep, because it's going to wake up. You have to dissolve it. Material desire. And so that's the dissolving agent is spiritual desire. The desire to achieve the lotus feet of Krishna. In everything that you do, it doesn't mean you put your career to sleep. You put family life to sleep. Just relationships become zero. Your intelligence becomes zero. Everything just goes into anesthetized state. That's not the message of Krishna consciousness. That's not the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And people aren't prepared to go there anyways. What they were prepared to do is they want their desires fulfilled and they want to do without the hate. It's not going to happen. As soon as you have one, you have the other. It's duality. And as long as the one is there, then there'll be repeated birth and death. And all of that nice yoga method goes right down the drain. Yes, one can go to some other place. And yes, one can achieve mystic cities. But this is, and all the other extraordinary things, beyond the ordinary things of life, but they're all material. And that's what the purport explains. In Nectar of Devotion, many of you have read Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada very carefully spells out that each of the 8 mystic cities, they're material, they're the same aspirations that non-spiritual materialists want. Only they want by mechanical means, and the yogi wants by subtle material means. To become as light as a feather, anima siddhi. Scientists have their program for practicing weightlessness. They go bouncing around inside this weightless machine so they can prepare themselves to go into space travel where it's weightlessness. Or that Laghima Siddhi or Mahima Siddhi, become heavier than the heaviest, just like Dhruva did, by his toe pressing into the ground. One toe, because one foot was up off the ground, just one foot on the ground, and his big toe was pressing the ground down like the weight of the Supreme Lord. It was a mystic power. Anima Siddhi, Mahima Siddhi, Laghima Siddhi. Prapti Siddhi, to acquire something from a distant place. So, become very, very, very tiny in size. Anima. The followers of the Alvar that helped to rebuild the Srirangam temple, one of them had this capacity, and so he could enter into people's homes by just going through the hole in the door where the key goes, because he had this siddhi. He could enter, then again manifest his natural form, unlock the door, and let the other thieves come in. Prakamya Siddhi, that's a good one. You can create anything you like, up to a planet. Now, Lord Brahma creates planets, but how does Brahma create planets? He does it through mystic power, and one can get a mini Lord Brahma mystic power, Prakamya Siddhi. You can create something, anything wonderful you like. Are not the materialists trying to do all of these things? Space stations that float in space, and as they advance in their technology, something so big it's like a planet people can live on, and so be able to do that by mystic power, create a place, or destroy a place. They're certainly trying to destroy places. The ability to change shapes. When they get their system of cloning down, they'll figure out how to make whatever, different shapes. Kamaya Vasita Siddhi. So, Prabhupada writes, all of these expediencies are common as natural gifts for the inhabitants of those of higher planets. As common as natural gifts. What are some of the natural gifts that we have? We have water, we have air, there are fruits and flowers, and cotton cloth, and there's natural gifts. The ability to speak and the ability to walk, and we have just gifts that are given by nature. Ability to think. They're natural gifts. And the higher planets, these mystic cities, they're as natural as what we have here as natural. And that means everyone can travel freely without spacecraft, without crash landings, without hijacking of airplanes. They just, at will, because they have this capacity. So on this plane, in the Earth planet, achieving that seems very, very attractive for the materialist. And for those who are subtle materialists, achieving them without gross expenditure and ugra karma labor, to do them by subtle means, that also seems attractive, but it's material. The foolish, innocent person may think, oh, one who can do like that is God. Persons are fascinated by technology. I remember years ago when I first started coming to India, whenever I would sit someplace in a public place, within 5 minutes there was a crowd of people staring. And they weren't just staring at me, that here's a white-bodied person. But I noticed they were staring at my watch. And now it's a computer. Sit in a public place, and I was waiting for the train to come here, and people were wanting to look at the screen on the computer. Oh, look at that. Fascinated by technology. It's just processing things in X way instead of Z way. It's the same thing. Writing a letter. You can write a letter this way, you can write a letter that way. And store it in your memory or send it in an envelope. It's the same thing. But people are fascinated by technology. And someone that can give them technology, oh, that's advancement. Isn't it? It's not advancement. It's the same thing. So a devotee can use those things, but we're not attracted to those things. For purpose of spreading Krishna consciousness, we may travel all over the place, but it's not to satisfy curiosity. Oh, I wonder what this place is like. I wonder what that place is like. My sister, one of my sisters, who's a little more attracted to Krishna consciousness than the rest of my family, met somebody that knew a Brighu reader somewhere in Lucknow. And she was real excited. She said, here's the address, and they told me if you go there, it's so rare that somebody get this information that if you go there, chances are they'll have an idea of, a precise idea of who you were in the past 100 lifetimes. I said, thanks, but no thanks. She said, what? You're not interested? I can't understand. So many people in the world don't even have an idea of reincarnation, and you have. It's fundamental to your religious views. Reincarnation. Aren't you interested? No. I said, just like we have a family album. And in the family album, there's pictures of you and me when we were little babies, and so what? It's just a curiosity item, last lifetime, 100 lifetimes, 50 lifetimes. It's just like sightseeing. Supposing go in the future, take my camera and go to someplace. I'm not interested. Sightseeing. Because you have a desire like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. We'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. So, anyone would like to share your thoughts, comments, feedback? Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible.
Okay. Yes, Mataji. Shweta Mataji, you can start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvad Pranam. I don't have anything specific actually either to ask or share. But whatever Maharaj was saying, I find it 1000% correct. And if I see around me, I mean, leave about all those aduma, laguma, and those kind of capacities. Even the person with the a little more capacity, if the person can do something which is beyond my capacities and or not spiritual definitely we follow and we get attracted. But even the materialistic, if someone can do, we say that wow, I mean, that person, he or she is um, such a capable person can do, and we get impressed, we get attracted. I mean, whether we want or we don't want, that's a different thing. But then we don't. We are not just unaffected. We are not neutral. We get impressed. So I mean, we have long way to go, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you
Hare
for Hare Krishna. Guru Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Maharaj was explaining how the material desires, like especially he used a statement like as soon as you open the door for material desire, it's not the one material desire comes and stands in the middle of the floor. So it's a whole battalion of desires. So that's the one thing. And as soon as one maintains a desire, a reposing place for that measure, the desire should be the mind, where the duality starts. So Maharaj explained very clearly like the desire and hate, how it gets manifest and what is the risk of it. That part I liked it too.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So here point, the Vedas are not meant for information, it's for transformation. So generally like Vedas, people think like it's a kind of a proudness once we know something. But actually we have to use this kind of all knowledge for real purpose, like a transformation. And Maharaj explained nicely about all the siddhis, how we are fascinating about different siddhis. Like as Maharaj already told that these are the natural gifts of the different places, like that higher planets and all. They have already, means all siddhis will have naturally, like whatever we have. So we should not be fascinating about those things, but we should think about the real thing. Like Maharaj explained about his example. He doesn't have any interest of all the future or past to know this is like a family album only. As so, and one more thing is like people are no more fascinated about the sightseeing, different places in the world. We are going here and there, but what the purpose? So that's where we should not be fascinated about those things. I can understand them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very well said. Harishan Prabhu, would you like to share Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, just recently I was hearing experiences of a yogi because this is a Kumbh Mela time, like a lot of they become famous, right? This is kind of a yogi like was leading a regular life like us, like in an IT company and everything, and then he left and he became he progressed in yoga. So he was sharing his experiences. Since we recently visited like the place which is very famous for the yogis like Rishikesh, Haridwar, Badrinath, Kedarnath, right? These are the places where really many of the yogis are found, along with like Prayagraj and all those places. So he was sharing like he was residing in Rishikesh. Then one day he got a desire to go to Kedarnath. So he called up his guru and asked him and expressed his wish that he wishes to go to Kedarnath by walk, not through any other means, and would like to stay there for some time and practice austerities there. So he requested his guru's permission as well as asked him like what he needs to do. What is there any preparation or any instruction for him in his journey there, and what he has to do there. So his guru told him like. On the way, like, ask him, like, prepare himself. I ask him to chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Because typically these yogis, they are not like devotees. They are like basically worshippers of Lord Shiva, and with the motivation that they become Lord Shiva. Shivoham. Okay, I am that Shiva. So that's what their motivation is. We can see like they consider Lord Shiva to be the Adi Yogi, that is the first yogi. And even in our Srimad Bhagavatam as well, right? Like Lord Brahma will recommend Lord Shiva to perform tapasya when he manifests as, in the form of anger. When Lord Brahma's anger comes or Lord Shiva manifests, and all his like progenies, like they were like devouring the entire universe, that Brahma will recommend him to do yoga and do this meditation. And Lord Brahma is in no, to gain the favor of the Supreme Lord, you must do engage in tapasya. So Prabhupada writes, okay, Lord Shiva is always in this meditative pose. And typically the followers are also like that, and eventually with the motivation that they become one with Lord Shiva. This is what it is. Okay, so but he was recommended by this yogi guru to actually chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And this person, as he was traveling to Kedarnath, okay, he was constantly chanting the holy name, and because see, he has been living there and seems to be a very genuine person, and he's progress. He has control over his senses, control over his mind. And he was saying like, as he chanted more and more and more, it got to a point actually like pretty much like the chanting overtook him. Essentially, he was not even able to forget it, or even just any time if he after taking rest wakes up, even in his sleep, just chanting was continuously happening within his mind. And when he wakes up, it just naturally was happening for him, naturally or mechanically, what we say the yoga processes. Then after he said like he did this, he went through a lot of like revelation and like all those things in his life, chanting the holy name. But after that, he has stopped chanting. And he started following the other yogic process and everything. Then I was wondering, okay, how come this person had a great experience and there was and understood, I was able to even like appreciate the reciprocation of the holy name, yet why did he stop it? On the other hand, my case, okay, I've been chanting for quite a number of years, and like all of you are also doing the same thing. What is that keeps us going? And this yogi, in spite of being very advanced when compared to me, okay, in terms of like controlling the senses, controlling the mind, and doing so much austerities, can do meditation for a long period of time, while I struggle even to concentrate even one round or even few mantras, all those things. What kept me going all these years, and why, in spite of all his qualifications, why this yogi finally stopped chanting the holy name and he was doing different other processes. So I was just wondering, and then something came to my mind, is like, it's just not my endeavor or purification alone. It's just that the source from which I received the holy name. I may not be in a position, or like I may not be so pure enough or advanced enough to have control over the senses and everything, but the source from which we all get our holy names, or we got it, is a source that who has the genuine intention, whoever gave it to us, and it's our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and all the devotees. They have this genuine desire that this soul, okay, let him, this soul, let him for his life chant the holy name and achieve the highest benefit of life. So the only difference I see here is, at least one of the difference I see, the major difference I see here is, he got from a source like a yogi guru who didn't have that full faith in the transcendental potency of the holy name, or that full, or didn't know the perfection of the holy name, and the holy name is not different from the Lord. They had some other ulterior motive, but in this case, the place where we receive the holy name is, even though we may not be completely pure, but the source from which we received is completely like 100% pure, and they have 100% faith in the holy name, and it is their desire and their purity which is helping me, or their empowerment which is helping me to continue to chant the holy name, in spite of all the limitations and all the allurements which I am subjected to. But still I am able to carry forward chanting with some faith the holy name, just because of the place from where which we receive. It's just a small, like, some thought came to your mind, comparing, okay, yogi who is very advanced, on the hand, I'm struggling here, but still we are all able to chant, continue without chanting, in spite of all these struggles, not giving it up. So that shows like it's very important from where we receive this knowledge and whom we follow. That's it, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Explained very nice about the yogis who are staying near Badrinath, Himalayas places. Yeah. Kishore.
Yes, so
Yes,
in this material world, something that something which is higher than what we cannot do. Some person who is knowledgeable than us, some person who is in a position higher than us, somebody can do something which we cannot even do or think of. Then it naturally becomes fascinated. And here the devotee great Acharya is saying that this is nothing. This is nothing, because we know what is that, and the people in general start attracted to these things and consider them as a god. And Maharaj was told that there is a personality who can give your 100 years. He was not interested, because there is something higher that we know that, and it's all Srila Prabhupada mercy that we at this level, as Harisham Prabhu was mentioning, that where we in this world, we have this idea that the highest purpose is the Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma. Otherwise, we would have been also engulfed in this today's world. That's one point. The second point, I just wanted to bring here, especially in India and all over the world. And today Maharaj was mentioning that whether it's this all siddhis or yogis and also even technologies, They are same, but somehow or the other, people in India, they respect so much of technology. Some feature get released, something happens. Wow, so much of things. But there is some sadhu or something on the other side. There is just so much of disrespect to that. And I wanted to tell that I just happened to meet at least 3 to 4 Naga sadhus. And I asked them that, and everybody was so uh, thrilled to share that whatever they have today, it is because of Sadguru. And they were mentioning many times that whatever I have today is because of the mercy of my spiritual master, Sadguru. I mean, they were not directly saying spiritual master or something, but there was aspect of that. And a lot of tapacharya goes inside that. They of course their purpose is not something highest goal in the life or something, but there is a lot of tapacharya austerities goes behind these sages. And they do the yogic processes, I mean sacrificing their all the things. And may not be today, but definitely sometime later, because they also have a tendency of controlling something higher, whereas the scientists also have something, but the scientists get so much of respect, whereas the sages in this material world do not get, and they are considered such a low class people because they do not have job, they do not have money, they do not have all things. And that is also trait I have seen in devotees as well, that oh, sadhus, they are just like on the roadside or something, they have no grade. But my experience, what I have seen and heard, with the Naga sadhus and other things, they have done such a higher austerities, tapascharyas. And second thing is that they accept that there is something Sadguru, and also many of them said that this is without the Lord's mercy in their word, it is not possible. So what I wanted to say that whether scientists or they are on the similar where Maharaj was mentioning, but respecting one and not disrespecting others, it is the same actually, whether it is a scientist or yogis. But somehow or the other, they become the at receiving end, especially in India and other places, and disrespect that. So I think whether it's a scientist or these things, both are on the same level. And but I feel personally, and I would seek here Shamkund Prabhu's or anybody else has anything, that they are much better, much better than this ordinary scientist person who is engrossed in the sense gratification, who do not have idea of the supreme personality of Godhead, who do not have idea of the spiritual master. But on the other side, the sages, Naga Babas, they have much better, because they have austerities, they have done tapascharya, they have done, they have accepted spiritual master, they have accepted supreme personality of Godhead. Their purpose may be different, but it is just a matter of time. They will come to the higher purpose. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing your experience.
Prabhu, I just have a one sentence answer for your question. It is a silly thing, but the scientist can give something to masses, irrespective of whether they are worthy to it or unworthy to it. They have invented a watch, they have invented something. Now, if you have money, if you have some material things, you can have it without inculcating any new ability within yourself. But Naga sadhus can't give you something just like that. You have to do something. They can give even higher things, but you have to do something. You can't just get it just by giving money. Probably you have to leave something. You have to be with them. You have to understand few things. Yeah. So I feel that is the difference.
Okay. I have one more point, Mataji. What the scientists are giving, it has more disadvantages than what advantages are there. I do not know whether you have seen the people, the latest generation, they are engrossed. They
Prabhu,
lost.
that is a
They
different.
lost this science and technologies, and they do absolutely know nothing that what is the higher purpose. And third standard, fourth standard, fifth standard are completely lost in technology. They completely lost in the culture, they completely lost in the values, they are completely lost in the what we called as drugs. And also something we could not even think at the age of 17 or 18, they are doing at the age of 8 or 10. So what technology can give more advantages is actually less advantages and more side effect of that. If we just just wait for a few years, and we'll completely realize that we are completely lost. There are many people who got addicted to the cell phone. They do not know what to do that. And I have seen personally one devotee's brother. He was not practicing Krishna consciousness. He completely got lost, and he was admitted at night 12 o'clock because every day night he was watching the video. Of course, I'm not saying that the scientist has not done good job. They have done good job. Today whatever we are hearing is that is because of technology. My whole point was that the respect is more to the scientists, just because we just cannot believe in the things. But it is the question again, what Naga Babas can do or what temples can do, that they can do much better than that, because they will change our consciousness. And once it is like the philanthropic activities. Why one has to go to philanthropic activities, and why Srila Prabhupada said that instead of giving the philanthropic activities, give them that which can change their consciousness. So it is not that they are better or they are better, but what can actually change consciousness. They may solve our problem today, but but solving one problem, we get into much bigger problem. When the motor vehicle was designed, the whole purpose was that we can go from place A to place B very quickly. Now today what happened? So much of traffic, so much of pollution, and we do not know how to solve that problem. So yes, they are giving much better things. They can give job, they can give money, but they cannot change consciousness. They can corrupt our consciousness.
And that is what exactly my point was, Prabhu. I mean, when people are getting without any ability, disability, without any criteria, it is never going to help. But science does that. And people do not have the wisdom or mentality to check what is good for me or what is not good for me. They just get attracted. I mean, that is what the complete point was from my side also, Prabhu. Until you are not able of
But
something, you can't have something.
what is that? Sorry, Mataji. What is that without having any? Sorry, Mataji. Can you please tell what is that without having any qualification?
Right, Prabhu. For anything, you should be able, you have to make yourself able to receive something, right? For bhakti also, some places, something you have done so that you have got mercy. Somewhere you have done something. You have taken first step. For for even for Naga sadhus, they have done so much of tapasya, so much of renunciation to get something. You have to do something to get something, right? You have to qualify, you have to pass second standard to go to third standard. You can't just jump into fourth standard. But when things are available without any discrimination, when things are available for everyone, for masses, what science does, it is never going to give a good result. It is always going to give a bad result. But at the same time, it is attractive for everyone, as per me, Prabhu.
Yeah, that is what I mean. I had nothing to say that it is good or bad. All I was saying that is that science has much more dangerous effect than these things. And I do not know. I didn't. I have never said anything against what you are saying. Well, all I was saying that there is a science and there is a sadhus. Sadhus has done tapasya. They are accepting the higher power. They are accepting the Sadguru in their life. That's all. And you said that Nagababas cannot do better. That is the only point that I had said, that at least they are giving the path of that accepting the higher reality. They are giving the path that there is someone better than that. Science actually tells us that we don't have to believe anything. It's all about this material world, about the matter. So that is what I was saying.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Even I was doing the same thing in different words. So we are on the same path, Prabhu. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
I didn't say anything against what you said. But I was talking about the respect that we get. This we show disrespect towards the sages, sadhus, and all the Naga Babas or whoever is that. Just because they might be not having a job, they might be illiterate, thinking that they might be, but actually they have the highest wisdom that cannot be offered by anyone. So-called the scientists might be PhDs or something like that.
Thank you, Kishore Prabhu and Shweta Mataji, on this technology advancement, how it is spoiling our lives. So I can just share one point. Even if you see 30, 40 years back, there is a very little frequency to travel to other places. Now everyone has their own mobile and vehicle to go anytime, anywhere. Due to that, people are don't know what to do. If I can just tell that at my village, there are 50, 60 youngsters are there. They don't know if there is a one day there is no work, or if there is a work also they don't want to go. They always go and watch mobiles, and I don't know what to say. I say that there are chances to get trouble for their lives, because if someday there is no money, they'll just watch the YouTube channels how to thief, steal the things from other houses or someone else, and how to do the those things. I just wanted to stop to share. Yeah, I was just share this thing point. Sharbari Mataji, would you like to share anything? We are 7:16 now.
No, Prabhu, I just enjoyed whatever all the devotees said and the beautiful discussion that we had. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Kumarika Mataji.
No, Prabhu, nothing from my side.
Okay. Thank you all devotees. We will stop here. Last minute, Dilal Prabhu, would you like to share anything? I'm sorry to, I forgot to ask.
Prabhu, it's already 7:17. Maybe tomorrow we can share, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you so much. We can stop here. We'll continue our session tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you for joining all.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen.